So why do the narcissists play the victim? Well, that's a common question that people ask when they're trying to understand NPD. So the answer, it isn't always simple, but there are some common reasons that narcissists play the victim. I think really the most common reasons are sympathy and attention. So they might be trying to cover up their own shortcomings, their own bad behavior, and they do this to manipulate others. And in some cases, narcissists, they may even believe that they are the victim of other people's bad behavior. But whatever the reason whatever the reason it may be, it's important for you to remember that narcissists, they are master manipulators. We know this from previous videos and things we've talked about before. But if you are dealing with a narcissist, it is important to be aware of their tricks and their manipulation tactics, because you aren't the first and you won't be the last. But if you want to get out of this, you need to be aware of what you're dealing with. So they are very difficult people to deal with. They're manipulative. They're very charming. Okay, that's what draws the people in. And they often have this way of making you feel sorry for them. They're really good actors. The one that I know, or the one I dealt with most, he could get an Academy Award. Oh, yes, he can. So one of the most common ways they do this is by playing the victim. They love to use sob stories, real good at using these sob stories. And they use false claims of victimization to gain sympathy and attention. And they often do this when they're in with their new supply. They'll be talking about the ex and what the ex did to them. They will exaggerate all of their problems, and they will even make up stories altogether. So this behavior is used to gain sympathy, is used to gain admiration, as well as to deflect blame from themselves, and often, to place the blame on others who aren't to blame at all. So they may even go as far as making them up complete lies and projecting their own bad behaviors on somebody else. Yeah, they will. Oh, yes, they will. So if you have been in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, you may have noticed that they lack both self-awareness, self-reflection, empathy, and most definitely love. So if you're wondering why they play the victim, keep watching, because this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons behind this behavior. So why the narcissists play the victim might be directly connected to some of the symptoms of NPD. We've talked about before this sense of entitlement. We've talked about being in denial and low self-insight, low self-esteem, their, grandiosity, projection. We just did a video on projection earlier today. Need for control. They want to control the environment and everyone in the environment, because they almost sometimes have this God complex where they think that they should be in charge of how your life goes, what you deserve in life. This narcissistic rage, when things aren't going their way, you will see the rage. And this low empathy, really no care about how other people feel. It's all about them. So they live in these deep levels of denial. It's really bordering on delusional. They create their own really strange world to protect their very fragile egos. They are unable to cope with reality. Maybe, to think I'm not as good, I'm not as amazing as a person as I thought. And, due to difficult emotions that go along with reality, it's difficult for them to deal with disappointment, sadness, and fear, and to really deal with, their own behavior and how to deal with those types of things like disappointment. So they usually told themselves these stories since they were in childhood or early teen years. And they absolutely believe this as the truth. And so their denial and delusion sets the stage for creating an alternative reality, and the ability to seamlessly lie to themselves and others. So they like to spin the narrative, and this is to receive false validation. They're motivated by proving that they're right, and due to their low self-esteem, they do need and seek validation from others. They do this by weaving a very distorted story, which is built upon lies to receive reassurance from others. The basic story is that me, the narcissist, if you're the narcissist, I'm good, I'm caring, moral, I'm selfless, I'm a good relationship partner, I am a good guy or good girl. But the partner is bad. The partner is abusive, the partner is cruel, immoral, selfish, toxic. Narcissists most commonly create this alternative reality. Okay, and they like to tell everybody about it. Projection, we talked about projection earlier today. So whatever traits or behaviors they can't accept about themselves, they will project onto their partner or ex-partner. If the narcissist claims that their partner